Oh no, we had no audio, and I've been speaking to myself this whole time, which is just the common practices. But welcome again. Now speaking to you over this small machine here. This is the start for our RigBuilder development for the day of today. And why I was clapping was because today is the 20th session of live development of the system, and and yeah, clap 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 for me, and it's just me clapping here because it's a lonely road in which I have to proceed. So that being said, let's jump right in. Let's say hi to our friend Bob here as usual. Thanks for spinning this much, man. Imagine if we've been here for 20 sessions already. Imagine how many times Bob has spinned at this time, at this point in the development. Yeah, buddy, you're doing a great job. You're inspiring me. Thank you so much. And as usual, if you want to talk, if you want to participate, or if you want to help me out, as people have been doing lately, and that's just amazing, feel free to comment and I'll be sure answering you back. And yeah, let's get down to it. So we have our rig builder UI here. We have expanded it a little bit, increased the length of it, and we have finally our import export for skin clusters, which is working very well. It's 3 seconds to import all of the geometry or all of the skin clusters for this geometry here, which is not much. It's not much geometry, but it's in some points it's just stupidly dense. It's like outstandingly dense, and it's not what it should be, but it's what we have at the moment. And we also have a bunch of geometry on these little guys here, which is also not the ideal, but also what we have at the moment. And our base geo here is fine, could be a little denser in some of the areas, and we might get into the point where we're going to adjust it, but right now we're just going to move on. And this is our project right now. So just to recap, if you're watching this in the future, let's see if I can get here. It closed it apparently, so let's open it again, no problem. Oh, there you go. So here is a quick list of the things that we're going to be working throughout this project. I decided to use this checklist. I used this a long time ago, and it always served me very well for tasks. And you can just easily control it with the mouse, and to add things, you just type it in, and it gets right there. So we still have then to clean the skin weights import export function. We have to create control shapes import export, which is not written in the correct way here, but never mind, it's not relevant enough, although I just changed it anyways. So adjust base controls, and that's referring to this guys here, this squares here that at the moment are just small squares, and they should be a little better for us to be able to actually use them, right? Uh, mm, so this is the rig, it's the controls. Let's just check how it is right now. So if I just isolate it right now, you can see that's just a bunch of little squares. That's no good, not no good for our rig. And what we're gonna need for them is to actually adjust the positions and the size of them, also the type of shape, that shape that we're going to be using, and we're going to continue with the development. So right now, what we have here is the entire build process executing properly. So if we run this, then we're going to see that it is going to build the entire rig and also import the skin clusters in about 3 seconds, which is great for a project, for any type of import skin clusters. Before I was using the Maya CMDS, and it was just causing so much pain for like 30 minutes to import this. Gotta get some water here. So let's just rebuild it, check if everything's going all right. System's a little loaded at this point, but we're gonna get there. So it's just rebuilding the entire thing. Let's hope it's all right. What's going on here? It's a little bit slow, but it's fine. It's running on a machine crying after a whole day of hard work here. So today it is summer day here in Vancouver. It was. Let's talk while it loads. Let's keep Bob here by our side. So today it's a summer day here in Vancouver. Things are going well. We're a little. It was a little bit on the chiller side today, and we were. You can see that I'm not sweating all over my keyboard right now, and that's great. But I gotta be honest when I say that. I hope that this continues for a little bit, uh, and that the winter takes a little longer. So yeah, I think that we are getting. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, it worked. So why is it crying then? But yeah, it's importing everything. It's all good. We can now test to see if it imported the right thing. Yeah, and it's all good. So, you know what I would like to do? I would like to have a way to select our root or neck controls here. So right now I'm just going to select them manually, and that should just give us an idea of whether it's working or not. And it is, as you can see, we have the neck moving. The next thing that I could do as well is just bind the template geo. I don't know why would I want that, but might as well, right? Just to have it working together. But I think it would be just as an exercise. It could be interesting, but the benefit of it, I don't know. Let's try once, right? Why? What could it be? How could it hurt us to just bind this baby here? Right. So I am going to then bind it to the joint hierarchy. Apply. So it's quite late today, starting a little bit later. And of course, when we get to this point, we are already a little tired, but we are here to make it happen. So it seems like it is properly placed, although you can see that this hole here on the spine is not meant for twisting. The actual twist happens on this guys here. So this is something to consider actually. Because why this is placed there? Was it something that I did? It's not gonna look great on the twist, I guess. Let's bind and see. Maybe we gotta adjust it, and if it's the case, we gotta do it. You know what? I think I'm gonna put on some music for myself here. It's gonna be so yeah. I can see that we are going to make some progress today on these areas, and me open up my NG Skin tools and load my music while we're waiting. All right, so NG is open here. Let's see what it shows us on this. All right, so let's see the skin weights here, how it's looking. Yeah, and Maya does a average job in assigning skin weights. So let's just do it again. And I will relax this baby, and keep moving. So we can see here that this clavicle is like parented to the spine or whatever, and that's obviously not what we want. So for that reason, I will then just select the vertex and send it to clavicle, left clavicle joint, paint and flood. All right, this one's going to be on the right clavicle. Pretty straightforward, of course. And let's just check how it looks then. I'm curious to see how it looks moving. Look at that. Oh, oh my God. Yeah, that's definitely not what we're looking for on the rib cage here. And that's one of the advantages with NG Skin Tools. We can just select a particular joint, and yeah, so it's going to be like neck and spine. And we don't even need to change much here. Maybe just relax a couple of times. So we're just, painting some weights on the skeleton here just to make sure that we're, just as an anatomical reference that it's not even going to be used, I guess, only for template purposes, where we're going to be building some of the systems based on on the bones position here for the skeleton. But aside from that, it's not really going to be uh, on the renders or on any sort of animation. But right now we can see how it works, and it's at least interesting how the scapula here is working. And we can also test our neck, which is not going to be, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be looking good, because I could already see that the way it was in relation to the, let's just watch here on transparency. Yeah, so you can see that it should be in the middle of this joints here, but it's actually a little bit on the backs of it. So I might adjust it or not. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. Let's see. The idea here is just to have it, so that we can observe it and see if it's, behaving on an anatomically correct manner. And it seems to be okay. It's not perfect, I'm sure. It's not perfect. But at least we can illustrate the idea here. And inside of geometry, then I'm going to select this guy here. I'm just going to bind this school here into this guy, and this is not even going to have gonna need any type of skinning. I'm just gonna do select the joint. It's gonna be one thing. As I said, it's just a visual reference of what we are going to be using, and this is going with the joint here, the jaw joint, and boom. So this way we are then able to kind of, what is this though? Oh, weird. Oh, I didn't change the name of this joint. So this is a good flag that I will actually have to change this because this is wrong. It shouldn't be like this. But anyways, if we now open the jaw, we should be able to see. Of course, I have to hide this one guy here, but the jaw should be moving with the face, which is interesting, right? To be able to see this working together. And as I said, it's not necessarily going to be used, but I like the reference. So let's then. So we have it in place. Everything's binded. Yeah, I guess that's mostly it. So we do need to rename the joints of the tongue because I obviously haven't changed any of them. It's named like jaw, and I probably duplicated the jaw joint and placed it. So that's a thing that has to change. So let me add that to the list. This is one of the priorities for sure. So, or not necessarily right now, but so change tongue joint names, export skeleton template, skeleton weights. Oh my god. All right, so that should be good for adding to our tasks. And let's then keep moving here. So let me get my code here. Let's re-establish where were we. Uh, NG or PyCharm here is a little bit slow because I haven't really touched it today. I was on computer work the whole day. And that's the thing about the new era that we live in. We are mostly working from home here in Vancouver, at least in the studios that I know. Most people are working from home, and it's not a bad thing altogether. But I mean, for me, I have a family, and it's great to be, a little bit close to my daughter. But for some people, they just prefer, it's a trade-off. It's a thing that I guess we're gonna have to uh, learn how to deal. I do miss the times where I could go with my friends, have some lunch. I like some ramen here in Vancouver, Dumbo ramen, and yeah, I miss those times. So yeah, that's what we have right now. And okay, so this is our skin cluster import export uh, function, and we still have to clean it up in some areas. This area here, for example, has no effect in the code at the moment. So I'll just read it from start to finish. So let me just close this here. All right, so yeah, let's clean this part here of the function up, and also dear path file name. Yeah, that's that. I guess I could just add that as a utility as well. So skin tools, open my export skin weights, import skin weights. That's good. So the import skin weights should then be a solo function. Export model, geo skin weights. That's fine. And where's the import? How do I have it registered without a function on it? So export import. So the import is here. Where is it? So it's assigned directly into the function, so it should be working. So what I'm saying here, if I don't get this information, if I get the information, I'm going to assign it. Else, if I don't get it, I will have this thing here popping up. So still, I'm thinking now if I should be adding a new gate here. Okay, just 1 second here. Let me get the window open here. I'm trying out. All right. Okay, so what we have here then is it's going to pop a file dialog, but I'm having the feeling that if we don't give it anything, then I'm gonna add a gate here, so just saying, so if not import file path break or return. So meaning that if by the end of this if here we don't have any import file path, nothing on the variable, we're just gonna be kicking it out. So let's open it back again. Let's just see if that is opening up. Yeah, it's popping up our file dialog and it's open. And well, but it did return as an error. So it's returning as an error and the function files can file blah blah. Yeah, right there. It's just saying right away it's just saying nothing. Non-type has no attribute get item. But what is it returning when we're doing this? So I'm just gonna print here this real quick. So import file path. Let's just see what it returns when it has nothing. I just don't want any errors there. When we don't do anything. So it didn't even print anything. So meaning that it just has nothing on it. So I think I need this to be printed here. And this also is kind of silly. I'll just correct a few of these things here. It's any JSON. Oh, I see. So I see what's going on. So if the file is not, so this should be import file path list, and then let's end this issue here by having it like this, and then let's kick off this import file path list, import file path equals to this guy as a list, and it's equal to 0. I'm not going to need this anymore. And this should give us what we are looking for. I'm pretty sure it's going to work now. I don't know if it's the smartest thing to do here. Yeah, it's going to be that. So let's just run it. Hmm. Still crashing, huh? Hmm. Almost the same mistake here. So what we need here then is import file path list. So what we're doing is just checking like if it's returning if the file dialog is not returning anything, then we are just killing the execution of the function. Boom, awesome. That's what we needed, and it's not crashing anymore. And I'll just print uh, self dot. Oh, hmm, just call it so print. Oh my God, there's a butterfly flying on my keyboard right now. That's a good sign. It's a sign of luck. So I'm just gonna say for skin the OM import skin weights and no file selected. And that should be good enough for us to have a simple way to import our weights manually if we want. Yeah, boom, no file was selected. Great. Huh. One little bit done. So how's it going on your end? You from the future, because right now we are developing our rig builder and our rig builder UI. And since we are mostly with Bob here today, I'm talking to you in the future, or even myself. If I'm watching this in the future, hello. I hope you have been doing great and that you're having fun with me and your family, and that you got to the end of this project. And I hope that we try to do some faceware. So this is also something that I've been thinking lately, or today I thought about it, actually having faceware at the end of this project as one of the goals. And it's not uh it actually is now a goal to have this project taken to the point where we're going to be able to do faceware. Right, so that's good. So we know that this gate is here, and we are able to then import and define the data dictionary. Okay, so that's good enough. Now, what it starts to get a little tricky is down here. So keep track of which imported files aren't used. This is kind of silly for me. getting current weights, and then it sets at what point here? So this is the point where it sets. So it's setting the weights only at this point, and this whole point here is not being used at all. As a matter of fact, maybe even this point here is not. Oh no, this point is being used, but it has a gate here. It has a gate, but I mean, we're lucky. Where is this? What? So I can clear I can clearly see here that there's a problem. So influence name equals imported influence, important the store the imported weights into the it's just checking. So okay, but this is wrong. This is definitely here. So this is, even though it was wrong, it was working, but good to see that if so if there's any unused or no match, it's then going to pop up a file dialog, and then it's going to try to remap, then set the weights. I don't think you're going to be needing this here, so I'm just going to comment this. So this is just the process of cleaning this code up. So influence indices. So one thing that I don't like about this code is this II here. Influence path, length. So the influence path is the number of joints. So I'm just going to change this to joint index. Influences. So the thing is, it's okay. So let's change this guy here first. This is going to have to be manual. So I'm not really sure why is he doing this. Number of influences. Let's just call this influence index, which is very similar to a joint index. Would actually be the same thing. So I'm just gonna double call this. Like, anyways, if it's the same thing, I'm not gonna be using it anyways. So let's go and rename this guy just to not keep like this single letter names. It's going to be joint index here. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm just going through this bit of code here and trying to clean up as much as possible so that we have the optimal thing here and we can move on definitely from that. And this is still the joint, the OpenMaya import export, and it's working finally. We're fortunate to have achieved it last stream, and now we are just getting it cleaned up so that we can move on. Let me just test also if it's still working after the changes that I just made. So this thing was commented out, and if that nothing changed, it still imports the weights. We're all good. So right here we have the import model geo skin weights. We're just gonna remove the template geo skin weights and system geoskin weights, and let's run the build again. Oh, it's going to, we're going to lose our, that's no bueno. All right, so I might have to do one other thing here. So on the export side, let me add another export here. I'm just going to do another one of this. And what I have to do then, let's see if I can export template geo. This should be fast. Template geo. This is the template geo group. Which, by the way, I'm not even sure should be. Yeah, there's the model geo and the template geo group. I'm not sure if this is going to be the final hierarchy here. This group could be very well completely removed, but let's just keep going with it right now, just because I need it in place, and since we need it to be here, might as well just have it binded so that we can move it around with the skeleton, or like the joint skeleton. So, oh yeah, this is something that needs to be changed as well. So let me go to my list here. So inside of here, you're gonna have export model geo skin, file name hard coded. So this has to be changed. I need to have it like some using some other source of information to export this. We cannot be defining this name right here. I do have done a dictionary here with the names of the files, but I was also confused about that. Yeah, I think this is this guy here, project data file dict, but it's just this very silly naming way, because it is like name of the file, name of the file. So key and value are the same, just for the sake of us, keeping it inside of a variable, so that if we need to change it in the future, we're going to be able to do so. But at the same time, I'm not sure what's the point of that. But for sure, having it inside of the function, I don't know how healthy is that as well. So we're back here, and this is actually where we're going to start using that. So self dot file project file data file dict, and then we're going to be calling the template geo skin weights, which, as I said, is the name of the file. So it's completely nonsense. But as I have been saying lately, it's a matter of like, just keep going and we're going to figure it out soon enough. So this is template geo group. Is that how we're calling it? Yes. So then whatever is inside of template geo group, it's going to be queried, and this is going to be skin cluster template, I assume. Project there. So this is going to be template geo skin cluster. So don't we have that though? Okay, so then a bunch of things are going to have to kind of change now. Data skin clusters. Yeah, let's just create that. I don't mind for now. So when we add this here into this dictionary, what happens then is that when we restart this UI, the first thing it's going to do is going to prompt us with a question. So it's going to say, this folder doesn't exist. Would you like to create it? Let's see. Oh, no, it didn't. Why? So does the folder exist though? Let's open here. Let's just double check that. Would have been so nice if it happened, right? I know I'm pretty sure we're gonna make it, but yeah, it should have prompted us about the inexistence of that folder. So why is that so though? Data skin cluster template. So what's the deal here, fella? Have I not added something else? All right, so let's see. Haven't I? Like, this data is inside of this folder. No, no. I know what it is. It is happening. It's correct. So what is happening is that I need to do like check project here, and then it's going to create. It's going to check the. Yeah. So now we get it. So you see, skin clusters template is not it's non-existing. So boom, created. So now if you go back into that folder, it created a template. So we just added that dictionary there, and now it knows. So we have the skin cluster data for the model geo, and now we have the template stuff here. And now if we go to we need to register our new utility here. So that's going to be register build method, and then it's going to be open. Oh, I don't know. I don't think we need open Maya here. It's OM, and then it's going to be on the doc string. We're gonna have like open Maya. It's just too much repetition. So it's OM export template geo weights, and then we're gonna have like skin tools, and then the method is going to be the let's drop it online, and the method is going to be then om underscore export template geo weights. So now we should be able to open this guy up, and we should have it here on our skin tools. That being said, then hopefully it will grab these guys here. There are not many. It's just at the moment it is just there's oh man, okay. So the muzzle is hidden here, but it has no skin to it. So I'm also just going to delete this thing here. It's not what we need. And I will also delete let me just check one thing. So I just need to check if it is if before prompting to export, it is checking if it has if it has a shape. Export. So first, it's good to get that. Yeah, so it's not checking anywhere if it has skin clusters already. So that's no good. We should have a gate for that. So the thing is, if I tell the script, so if I run the script right now and some of these geometries don't have a skin cluster assigned to it, it's still going to try to export and it's going to crash. So right here we are getting the skin cluster. So we're basing everything on a geometry list, which is good. Uh, but we should be able to just like skip so that it's safe. I could do something like if skin cluster node, if not skin cluster node, continue. And that would skip then if there's nothing on that particular mesh, we just keep going. So let's test that, right? And yeah, there's definitely stuff here that doesn't have any skin cluster assigned to it. And it's actually a pretty big function here. So also let me get this guy here and remove the ng skin tools from it. So just the jaw, the school. Yeah, let's do it. If it crashes, and we move on. This thought, this actual thought that I just said, it gave me so many problems in Maya and in my life that I'm going to take it back. I'm just going to save it. You know, you never know. If it crashes, you lose your job, your work. So the other day I did the exact same thing. I was like, it's gonna be fine. Everything seems okay. I'm just gonna run this and it's gonna work. Boom, we crashed, and then oh boy, you gotta do it something again. Okay, so it's apparently it's a little bit on the heavy side because it's taking a few seconds to get us back. So let's say hi to Bob here again. Hey Bob, how's it going for you, man? How's your spinning today? I can see that you can look all around the world here and all over the internet, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and this joy of being with your mouth open around. Okay, I think it's done. Let's go back. All right, so let's do it then. Did it run though? Oh, I actually did it and it's done. So this is a good thing about this Open Maya import export. It's just blazing fast. It's awesome. So it's saying that it ended and it created the template. So it is inside of the proper folder. And yeah, I guess the next step would be to actually import it. So let me see where I am actually importing that. OM import model geo skin weights. And I believe it's going to be the exact same thing except. So yeah, this is the thing. This could totally be on its own function. I shouldn't need to repeat this over and over. So for file list, just get the norm path. I don't need this guy here. Skin this up, clean this other guy up, and OM import weights, dir path, etc., etc. So yeah, let's just duplicate this for now. I mean, it could be better. It's not going to be perfect, but that's just life. This is just live development. That's how it works. That's how it works after 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. So template, and I guess that's mostly it though. So then it's just going to query everything inside, and then when it gets all the paths, it's going to normalize the path, separate the name of the file, and then it's going to split the extension and parse the name into the function. with the file name and the dir path, and that what it what it needs to get the job done. Also, then I'm going to change this here to template, and this is the import, and I'm going to register this function here inside of our scheme here. So where's the well, we actually I already have it here, to be honest. So I have done this the last time, and the template, and then I'm going to drop one line here, self dot om import template geoskin weights, and now we should be able to, without any headaches, restore this file completely with the skin weights as is right now, including the recently added simple skinning for the scapula here. Actually, it is carrying the entire template geometry except for the muzzle. So yeah, this it's as I said, it's not necessary, but it's just something that I want to be in place for now. So let's just then update this, and I believe we have saved the file, and the actual skinning is saved, and this import system skin. Yeah, I'm just gonna comment this because it's just gonna start to give me issues. So this one here, we're not gonna use it anymore. That's gone, and this one's not gonna be here too, not for now. Soon it's gonna be back, but not now. So right now we have this guy, and let's see, everything is here. So in a way, so that before I had to turn off the method. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so before I was having to turn it off, otherwise it was crashing. Now it should be running it fully without any issues. So let's see if it's going to successfully import the geometry or import the skin weights for the template geo. All right, no crashes, great. And it was just a little bit longer. So it took 17 seconds to execute this. Didn't seem like though. So on the import, so you can see here on, I don't know if it's big enough, but the import model geoskin weights took 3 seconds. The import template geoskin weights took 5 seconds. So this is a good way to keep track of how much time it's taken to eat for each step of the skin clusters to be imported. And it's just working like magic. Oh my god, I love this. This is so fast. Oh boy, that's a feeling of progress. It, it was such a headache. It took us at least 2 sessions to get this thing going. Actually, we were on the third session working on it just to clean it up. But it's great. It's fast. It's blazing fast to import weights with OpenMaya. Highly recommend it. So yeah, it is important to successfully. And then let me just see. So if so why do we have this gate here though? It's really silly. Let me see. No, I don't want to fight this code right now. I think there's stuff to get better, to be better here, but honestly, it's not going to be activated never, because the code that I was using as a reference was accounting for a few other variables that I am not going to be accounting for. So yeah, let's wrap this up then. I will add a beautiful description here, and so you see, this is the good thing about the rebuilding of the system, because I had just skinned this skeleton here, and now it is all saved and it's being re-imported. So I don't need to save files. Well, I do if I have done something that cannot be saved yet, just as I also did, but at least now it is all rebuilding. So let me just do import skin weight. This is how can I call it, like a general let's see, general import skin weights function method. Uh, if no directory and file name is provided, the script will prompt the user for with a file dialog. This is just a simple instruction so that uh, general import stimulates. I'm just going to start with open my method, which doesn't really make any difference, but it's good to know that it's open Maya and that's what it stands for. So then what we can check here is if we open this and we're going to have our skin tools, and I click on the, is it the import or the export? It's the import. And then we're going to have the doc string here. So then if I in the future look at this, it's a lot of just simple text here in a hierarchy, like in a tree. So I'm sure if I open this like I don't know, 6 months from now, or even a month, or even a week, or even tomorrow, to be honest, I'll look at this and I'll be like, what the fuck this is doing. So if you don't have a doc string or a description, just like, so both of them now have it, which is great. And we can just check out what's going on here, and remember how to use the function and why was it created in the first place. uh, and yeah, let's keep going then. It seems like it's working, and this is good. So in the future, if I need to do this again, what's going to happen is I'm going to bring the entire geometry, etc., and then when it's all built, I'm just going to come here and export model geo weights, and it's going to export everything into the model geo folder. And if I bind the template geo, I'm going to do the same thing, and that should be what we are looking for. So let's close this guy as well, and yeah, let's keep going. Let's do it. So if you're ever hungry and you like barbecue, check out this channel on YouTube, Guga Foods. The guy's a barbecue magician, and I'm just saying that because I'm hungry right now. But and I remember, and he actually says that. So like, let's do it. Okay, so let's get, so that's cleaned up. Great. We have no doc string here. It's not great. But I guess I'll be getting back into it. Let's think about it. All right, so let's get into our task list here, and export module file name hard coded. Yeah, let's change that as well. I'm also not happy with the way that yeah, even if I'm using a variable here, it's not the best. But anyways, template geoskin weights, and that's it. I mean, hopefully there will be more data Model geo skin weights. And I also need to change the actual file name because I have already saved it as skin cluster 001, which is not the final name that we want. So model geo skin weights. So I could just export it again, but I'm just doing this because I know that this file is correct. And it's something that I just changed now. So from now on, it's going to be moving properly. So Rafael Vitorati is back, man. So happy. Yes, welcome back, my friend. Happy to see you. So he's saying, so you're also a fan from Guga Foods, cool Brazilian dude as well. Guga Foods is amazing, man. The guy, like, I'm gonna tell something personal here. I don't know if anybody cares, but I'm gonna say it. So I'm doing this like I stopped eating at 8 o'clock so that I was fat as shit. So I stopped. I entered this thing which I start eating at 12 o'clock and I stop eating. I start at 12 o'clock and at 12 a.m. or p.m. midday, and then I stop eating at 8. But because I stay without, like I don't eat during this period, like I am just this fasting. Uh, at night I start to be like a cycle on YouTube food channels because I'm so hungry that I'm just like, oh my god, let's see if I can learn some barbecue stuff for the weekend when I can eat. Uh, yeah, cool, man. So that's just a parallel topic here. And also, he's saying, can't pay much attention today. Working on a realistic facial rig for a game. Nice, man. Keep going, dude. Destroy it. I hope you have a lot of fun and that whenever you're done with your project, let us know. I'll be happily showing it to to this vast audience that we have here. And and also, man, add me on LinkedIn. We shall share a connection. If you, it's Tiago Paulino on or Thiago Paulino on LinkedIn. If anyone wants to add me ever, add it and we'll have a chat. All right, so the Model Geo group. This is also hard coded, and let me see here. Where's the? Oh yeah, so the group hierarchy is also in a way. Let me see, where am I creating the groups here? So this is a thing that I'll have to deal in the future because the group hierarchy dict. Oh, man. Yeah, this is inside of the rig class here, which makes sense to me because this is rig related, and then we have the class that it's inheriting from, which is the project folder or the project class. And this has information about the Maya project or the things inside of your computer. And ideally, so that we can use these utilities better, we would be declaring the groups over here. But then it doesn't it doesn't make sense for me that the group hierarchy of the Maya file or the rig would be declared here. But then also there's like so many things I'm still not sure here. So yeah, sorry guys. Wow, it's just what time is it? It's like 11. Sorry, I'm a bit overworked today, but that's all good. Let's keep pushing. Just another day. Just another day in the jungle. So if we then check what's next, have I fixed what I was asking here? So yeah, export model geo file hard coded. Yeah, that's done. And I believe that for now, for this particular moment, it is good to go. So then next, also change tongue joint names. That makes sense. It is all named not in the proper way, but it's also going to require us to re-export the skin weights, because once I change it, it's going to affect the skin cluster. So let me just make sure then that tongue, and I also want to keep this guy on. So the tongue has the skin cluster. I would also like to, yeah, I am going to also create, let me add this, rename, skin clusters, skin cluster nodes. So to be geo name skc skin cluster. Yeah, that's good enough. So I'm just gonna then see. Yeah, so this is going to be done manually here. Mhm. I need a renamer. I also need to get the Comet renaming tools. I mean, I could rewrite it to for renaming, but I just don't want to do that. So here it's gonna be tongue zero zero one joint. Then, my friend, it's going to be manual renaming, and that's not even slightly exciting, but that's what it is for now. In the future shall be bright. Okay, 3, 4, and then this one here is going to be tongue and joint. So this namings, they are, I mean, they're not the final namings that we are going to be certainly using, but they are there for now. Haha, nice. There it is. Another golden nugget from Raphael here. So what is this? Like a rename selected nodes? Is this Maya thing? Uh, Never seen this. Maya Python rename selected nodes. See that? Huh? Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Or are you telling me to? Uh-huh. No, no. It's not sending the code. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, yeah, yeah. I get it. You were making me a even better favor. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I don't know how can you send it though. Oh, it's a shame. But yeah, thank you. All right, so good. Now what I'm gonna do is just then export it over again and export the skin, cause export model geo skin weights, and let's hope that it's not going to destroy. I'm actually going to back up this guy here, and so I might have one already here, so I'm going to rename this, or I'm going to copy, just copy paste it, whatever. Okay, I need to create a function to also back up this files once I save a new one. Okay, so just to make sure that we're not going to lose anything, and then export the weights, and it's done. Oh, but see, it's not what I wanted, baby. No, get out. Let's do it again. Probably didn't reload the thing. So now if we do export model weights, we should get the proper name. And yeah, model geo skin weights is saved. And it is right here. And also what I need to do is duplicate this guy and remove it from the group. Oh, the camera's in front of my monitor here. Hmm. Okay. So you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have to redo the naming, but it's fine. I'm gonna have to run it all the way into or import control 6 can constrain. So I'm gonna turn off a few functions here. So constrain skeleton to base controls. Yeah. Add skeleton base controls. I'm gonna turn it off, and then so I'm also going to turn off all the formers here. Build modules has nothing in it, and I will then rebuild it. And the reason why I had to do it is because on that version, the skeleton was already binded and there was a bunch of constraints on it. So I don't want that. So right now, then I'm going to do like again. So I guess for thunk 01 join. Uh, And also, Rafael, if you're still around, man, send us the link to your studio. I'm curious about the stuff that you're producing. Seems like some pretty cool stuff. And Fong, then 02 joint. And let's keep moving here. 03, 04, and the end. All right, enough with the manual stuff. All right, so let me export selection here. And then assets, rig, skeleton, and I'm just going to replace this guy. And then we should be able to turn all the stuff on back again. And hopefully have a non-crashing rig. Boom. Nice. Everything is built back up. And the jaw is one that's particularly hard to get. So as I said, next step is to organize these controls, change the size of the control so that we can pick it up. Right now it's just a nightmare to pick it up. Hide this guy. Let's see if our tongue is working properly here. Street should be good. Yep. Sort of though. But the controls have been renamed as well, which is great. So let me see what's going on with the skin weights though. Is it not proper? You know what? I don't even care right now. Yeah, really, I don't. I might have nightmares about it, but I'm not going to touch this now. Okay, so let's keep moving. All right, so this is good enough. It's getting us where we need. So rename skin cluster. No, so the tongue joints have been renamed. Now we need to change the skin cluster's name, and gonna do it. Rename skin clusters. I think it's skin tools. It is a skin tool, right? Like it's another tool for skinning. Because once if I need to export something or a skin cluster, yeah, let's just do it. Kind of silly function to keep going. It's not real progress, but it is necessary. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of this things now. Now that it's all working, it's sort of cleaned up. Rid of the unused stuff. And this guy here, I should delete this, but you know what? Boom, done. Clear. Okay, so I'm just going to then what is this? Export. Changed anything here though? Hmm. Right. Anyways, so I'm just sorry. I'm just checking here. I have a duplicate, but mostly I was starting to work on a post build utilities, but I just don't think it's going to be the case. I don't know. At least for now, post build utilities are not going to be working. The main issue with what I was thinking about the post build utilities is because if we have to inherit the rig class, then and then make changes to it, I cannot inherit it from the post build utilities, or can I? Why wouldn't I be able to? I think I would though. I think I would. But anyways, so let's do here rename skin clusters. Skin clusters. Skin cluster nodes. So maybe I don't know if it's a risky move to rename like all the skin clusters in the scene. Well, it might be, but it's also not something that's going to be happening on the build process, so we can control it. If I don't want to activate it, I can just not activate it, and there will be no problem. So, let me check the connections with the skin cluster here. So just want to see. Uh, node editor. So I just want to see, because I know how to, we know how to query the, okay, so it's connected to, so we know how to query the skin cluster from the geo. Like if we have the geo name, we can easily get the skin cluster name. But what if we have the skin cluster name? Then we're gonna have to list the shape. Hmm. Neutral. Hmm. I know. Okay, so not necessarily great here. Have a wrong naming on the shape here, so that's no bueno. Have to re-export this model geo. And what I'll do then is I will kill all of the skin clusters here. And also, I need to check. Yeah, so it seems that the other guys are not suffering from the same problem of having that eyeball real time, right? Geo eyeball real time. Oh, why is it double named? So see, there's a bunch of wrong stuff going on here. It's a shame because I'll have to work on it, and I didn't want to deal with this kind of stuff right now. But if it's necessary, it's necessary. Okay, so let's go one by one here. First of all, what's the, can I delete this without deleting the actual thing? So it's eyeball item geo eyeball. Eyeball lens left geo eyeball lens left. Geo shape, that's what we need. That's one. It's kind of a risky move, but let's keep going. All right, so yeah, right now I'm going through this process. Let's do some coding here, and then we get back to that. So let me just query Google here first. So it's going to be get geo name from also Maya Python, get geo from skin cluster. I think it's going to be a simple like list connections, and but I don't, yeah, let's see. Find related skin cluster, it's fine. Get all skin mesh and or all skin clusters in the scene, no. Get skin cluster attached to the skin nodes, the actual opposite. Skin cluster, okay. So I'm gonna have to then list connections. I will list connections from the, let me bind one of the geometries here. Let's get the head if possible and just bind it back here. Yeah, skin, bind skin, joint hierarchy. What? Okay, so it's already bind to skin cluster, even better. So let's just see it here. Here's my skin cluster. Clear it up. Select node. And yeah, okay. Was there all the way. So yeah, so can I query then list connections? Let's see. So cmds dot list connections. So we have connections, destination, blah, 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 blah. So it's probably going to be destination. So I just want the name of the skin cluster dot out output geometry. Is that what it is? Geometry. Demo case. And then it's going to be destination, or just let's just use D for now. D equals true. Let's see what we get. Yeah, and actually just gave us the actually actual geo name, which is great because I would have to query the I was assuming we were going to get the shape name, so that actually works even better. So we can just drop this here. So it's going to be rename. So first of all, what I'm going to do is skin cluster list. That's going to be equals to mc.ls, and then we're going to be doing a how do you use ls for? I think it's like type equals in cluster. Let's see. My Python get all skin cluster nodes. Is something someone has the answer here really quickly? Yeah, it's exactly that. So we got all the skin clusters here, and then we're gonna go and for skin cluster in skin cluster list. Jesus, my brain is frozen right now. All right, so then once we're talking to one single skin cluster, then we're gonna list connections, and we're gonna be getting the skin cluster itself, and then format, and then we're going to change the skin cluster name. Sorry, skin cluster first. So we have then the name of the geometry, and then we're going to do mc dot rename skin cluster. We're going to rename it into skin cluster underscore skc, or sorry, we're going to do, this is geo name equals that. Then we're going to do geo name, boom. So this should then rename all of our skin clusters. Seems too simple. Seems just too simple. well, it's actually simple. So, anyways, so let's add this here, self dot register build method, and then we're going to get it rename all skin cluster, skin clusters, skin cluster nodes. All right, so then it's going to be also inside of skin tools. That should be it. That should do it. So before we even think then in like, oh, let's rebuild this. So before we even think of renaming this, I'll rebuild the scene, and let's get a fresh rig here. I had changed the geometry. I removed it in order to rename a few of the shape nodes that were all over the place there. So now we should get, yeah, we got it. Boom. And let's just check. So I know that uh, this guy here already has the skin cluster name on the correct way, but I know that this guy here, for example, doesn't. And what we have just scripted is that I also have to reload the UI here so that we get the rename all skin cluster nodes. And yeah, I believe then we should be able to double click it, and we got it. Boom. I believe that all skin clusters have been then renamed. So there's only one issue I saw there. It's getting a double underscore, and I don't understand why is that. Let me just check it. Why am I getting a double underscore though? Um, it's actually a triple underscore. Why is that? You, it's it's wrong. You eyeballance. Oh, I know what it is. It's because the it's a list here, so that's why. So this is going to I'm going to return the 0, which is one skin cluster. Or sorry, it's going to list the geometry. It's just one geo, and that should do it for us. So if we run it again, then boom, correct naming. All of the skin clusters should be renamed based on the geo name, and it's all good to go. Everything was renamed perfectly, including our friends here. So that also means that I have to re-export the, well, which is not a pain because it's pretty much a click of a button right now. Actually, just get the tongue here. Ah, give it a tongue. Teeth, the skin cluster is correct. All right, so we should have it. Let's export it. So export model geo weights, and also export our template geo weights. What? Oh, yes, I see. So this is garbage. This is not binded. Well, it doesn't matter that this is not binded. It's cool. It's cool. So now we should be able to export the template weights. Okay, this is all exported. Should be able to then just run everything again and get the proper naming on all the skin clusters. Right? 13 seconds to rebuild this and import all of the skin clusters with the proper naming. Hooray! Clap, clap, clap. Okay, sounds good to me. How much time have we been? 1 hour and 36 minutes. Jesus, man, that's why my eyes are heavy. All right, let's see what Heidi said here. All right, oh, good news. So let's keep moving here. Just actually, let me cross another task here on our list, and let's talk about these tasks because this is what I guess maybe if we have the tasks in front of us, we can have a perspective of where we're going, and that's going to be better for everyone, even especially people watching, because sometimes it may seem that we're like going forever, and it's actually the case, but at least we have something to look for on the next ones. So export template skeleton weights done. Now then we're going to be working on two important things for us to move forward, which is create the control shapes, import, export. So we're then going to be able to get these shapes here and export it. So change it and export it. So for example, if I, for instance, get this shape here and increase the size, say something like this, I will then be able to export the shapes, and when we rebuild it, it's going to come out as the exact same thing. So this function is going to take us, it's not a very exciting function, but it's a very like basic thing that we need to have. And once we have these things, the life is going to be so much better, right? Because this just takes out of the way this so if you want to do the more sophisticated stuff, we got to have a solid base. And again, this is my first attempt into a rig builder, but I kind of have a few good references in my mind. But it's a learning process. It's even after we're done with this, I'm sure I might be even, I don't know, at some point rebuilding it again or rewriting it again. But most of the functions, or some of the functions, are going to be reused. So that to say that it's not going to be perfect, but once you have the base, then when we get to the more sophisticated systems, we're not going to have to be thinking about this stuff. So I could very well just pass over it and not work on the simple stuff, just go straight to the sophisticated stuff, which is what I've done so far. Just like the mouth system that I have published, just like the eye system that I've done before. They're great systems, but then if you need to get a client, or if you like, you just don't have the base system. You don't have anything to that. You're gonna have to build this simple stuff like this, the base rig or the control system or whatever, manually, so that you can get into the sophisticated part, and then it's automated. It doesn't make sense. So if we or that, well, I did it before, so it makes sense, but it's just like it doesn't help you to create a pipeline or business or a anything like that, or even a tool that other people can reuse, which I hope that at some point we can get this going for everyone as well. Anyways, it's 1 hour and 40 minutes. I am completely wasted at this point. And we have some success here. We have the tests. We had the test and we've done it. So let me just rewind the test that we did today. So we cleaned the skin weights import export function. We're over with that. I'm not touching it on the next stream. We have changed the tongue joint names. We have renamed all the skin cluster nodes, and we exported the skeleton weights, and it's all now rebuilding fully once we run the builder. So now we then going to have this control shapes import export, and then we're going to move on into adjust base control. So once we have it importing and exporting, we're going to adjust it, make it look good, accessible for us to actually animate if necessary, and then we're going to save it and be able to rerun. And then we start to finally get into the more sophisticated systems, which is uh, change the next system. Also, there's the it might be before that we have to do the adjust, so the add the visibility attributes to the top group of the rig. That might be something that maybe I'll do it on my offline time, just so that nobody gets bored with it, but it's a part of the thing. So I don't think I have the time as well to not stream it, so I'll be streaming. So uh, then we're going to move on into the neck. So the neck is then going to be a single control that will control all of the joints of the neck, but you're also going to be able to adjust each individual joint individually, right? Well, makes sense. So that's going to be one system, and then we're going to be doing the eyelid module, the eyebrows module, the jaw module, the mouth module, and the mouth is the biggest one. The mouth is like it's deep, and then we have sticky lips, and if that ends this year, this all of these modules, we're able to end it up like still in 2021, which I hope, I seriously hope that we can do it like in a month or two. It's not gonna happen in a month, but like maybe 2 months. Uh, After all that, we are just going to do the blend shapes, and we're done. And then we move into the next project, and hooray! Anyways, guys, you guys, everyone, whatever you are, if it's night, if it's a day, you have a good one with you, your friends, your co-workers, and your family. And I hope you're safe and sound. And thanks for participating, guys. Thanks for Rafael, actually, for giving me some piece of code today. And but this gives me so much energy. I guess I would be just watching Netflix right now if it wasn't for this. So yeah, thanks so much for showing up, and we're gonna see you on the next session. Have a good night, day, and